All right, guys. We are live with another one, guys. We are live with another one, and this is my UFC fight predictions for Usman versus Jaquan Buckley, guys. This is going to be a good card. Hopefully, everybody, stays intact and nothing is canceled. As it stands right now, I am 117 and 83. That is 117 wins and 83 losses, guys, as it stands for my UFC fight predictions. So let's start from the top, guys. We got Jamie Horth versus Vanessa Demo. Look, uh this is a tough one for me. This one's a tough one for me. Um, Vanessa is like 1-2, I believe. I believe she's 1-2. I believe Jamie is 1-2 as well. There's really nothing like amazing about these females, but this is how the UFC started this card. Both 1-2. If I had to give it to somebody, I'm most likely going to give it to Jamie Horth, just for the simple fact that if you look at who she's lost against, it's been better opponents than Vanessa. So I'm going to give it to Jamie, most likely by unanimous decision or split decision. That's the way I see that one going, guys. I'm going to go rapid fire, guys, okay? All right, next match. We got Malcolm Wellmaker versus Chris Martino. Can't pronounce his name, but Chris. Um, you know, uh, in my opinion, Chris is a dead body, guys. You know what I mean? Chris is a dead body. I believe he's like 0-2. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he's 0-2. He's going to be an easy match for Malcolm Wellmaker. He's 1-0, I believe. Last fight was a KO. I give it to Malcolm Wellmaker to win that fight, most likely by KO in the first round. Chris is a dead body. This is going to be an easy fight for Malcolm. Easy one. Chalk it up to easy KO in the first round, guys. All right, moving on. We got Lasso versus Phil what is it? Phil Rowe. I want to say Phil Rowe. How you doing, Wrath? Hopefully you're having a good one, guys. Like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. Welcome to the chat. This is my UFC fight predictions for Usman versus Jaquan Buckley, guys. All right, I'm you know, Phil, he's 1-2. You know, Lasso, he's also 1-2. So both guys are basically, have the same record. Not it's not gonna be an entertaining fight. Both guys are not gonna go in there, give you like a barn burner. But you know, if I had to pick somebody, I'm gonna give it to Phil. Most likely by unanimous decision. If not, I think maybe Phil could finish him in the first round. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. All right. Moving on, we got Ricky Simone versus uh, Cameron Smotherman. Ricky is 1-2, and Cameron, he's 1-1, but he's fairly new to the UFC. You know what I mean? He's fresh. Uh, Ricky is the type of guy that he throws punches, man. You know what I mean? He throws punches. The guy, he throws caution to the wind, and he just tries to put his fist on your chin, man. And that's the way he kind of fights. Cameron, I think because he's so new and he's so fresh, I think I'm gonna give it to Ricky, man. I think Ricky is gonna go in there and most likely get a KO, guys. That's what I'm gonna pick for that one, guys. I'm picking Ricky. All right, moving on. We got Cody Durden versus Jose Achta. Can't pronounce his name. Jose is actually 0-1, guys. Okay, and Cody is coming into this 1-2. Both not really impressive records. This is what the UFC has given us. Basically, the starting all these fighters are basically 1-2, and from their record, it's crazy. Can I get a shout out? Asmin, as Asm, 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 Asm. Shout out to Asm. Like and subscribe, guys, if you are new to the channel. All right, this is my UFC fight predictions. Uh, I think Jose is going to continue, sliding down, and he's going to continue losing. I think he's going to get another L. Uh, I think he'll finish this fight against Cody 0-2. I think Cody goes in there and finishes him, and I think Cody is going to most likely even out his record and be 2-2 by the end of this fight. I think Cody could go in there and get a knockout in this one. I think that's why they put him against Jose. It's a good matchup. But I'm gonna pick Cody for that one, guys. All right, moving on. We got Michael Chiesa versus Court McGee. Look, guys, both of these men have been in the UFC for a very long time, very very long time. Uh, Man, Michael Chiesa coming from the Ultimate Fighter ended up winning the Ultimate Fighter. Court McGee, he's been around in the UFC for a long time. He's one of those veterans. Right now, as it stands for Court McGee, he is 1-2, another 1-2 fighter coming into this event. Michael Chiesa, however, is 2-1, so pretty good record coming into this fight right here. If I had to pick somebody, I'm picking Michael Chiesa. I think Michael Chiesa just has more experience, and I think he's just more durable than Court McGee. I think Michael Chiesa has more ways to win, so I think Michael Chiesa goes in there and gets the finish, most likely by submission, early in the first round or second round, guys. That's what I'm predicting for that one. But I'm going with Michael Chiesa, guys. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. All right, moving on. We got Rodolfo Balato versus Paul Craig. Look, guys, I'm not really interested in either one of these fighters. I'm just being honest. I'm not interested in either one of these fighters. Paul Craig, he's a shell of himself. He's not what he used to be. I mean, he should be retired, in my opinion. Paul Craig is a dead body, and that is facts. Paul Craig is a dead body. So I'm not gonna pick Paul Craig to win this one, guys. I'm really not. I'm not going to pick Paul Craig to win this. I think a lot of people are going to pick Paul Craig to win this, but I'm going to pick Rodolfo Balato. I'm going to pick Rodolfo Balato to go in there, and most likely, I think he could get the KO. I think he can get the KO on Paul Craig. He could sleep Paul Craig, especially the Paul Craig that we're seeing right now. So I'm gonna say Rodolfo Balato by KO in the second round or early in the first round. All right, we got Dumar Sai versus Alonzo Manifield. Alonzo Manifield going into this fight is 1-2, and Dumar, he is 2-0 right now. Okay, he is 2. Hi, brother. How are you? I'm doing good, man. I am doing good. Thank you for asking. Hopefully, you having a good one as well. Blessed to you and yours. Hopefully, you continue getting blessed. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. And thank you for supporting independent MMA media, guys. I really, thank you guys for supporting the channel. I really do. But I like Alonzo Manifield. I just think he hasn't gotten the right matchups. But I think Dumar is just he's a monster, man. He really is a monster. He goes in there and he gets the win, man. And he's going into this, undefeated 2-0. He got a 2-0, record right now. I'm not saying undefeated in general, but I'm just saying, he got a 2-0 record going into this fight. So if I had to pick someone, I'm picking Dumar to go in there and most likely win this fight. Most likely by unanimous decision. I think Alonzo Manifield sticks it out, stays in there, makes it a tough fight, but Dumar ends up getting the win, moving on to 3-0, guys. That's my pick for that one. All right. How's it going, bud? I'm doing good, man. Can't complain. I cannot complain, guys. This is my UFC fight predictions for this event on Saturday. Usman versus Jaquan Buckley. As it stands right now, I am 117 wins and 83 losses for my UFC fight predictions. So, moving on. We got Monsar Abdul versus Abdul Malik. Monsar Abdul Malik versus Cody Brundage. That's say that 3 times. How far do you think we are from Patty versus Ilya? We're not that far, guys. We're not that far. I mean, Patty Pimlet just beat Michael Chandler. You know what I mean? Embarrassed him, dominated him, submitted him, did what he wanted with him. So in my opinion, I mean, Patty Pimblett is probably one fight away from being, a top, number one contender. You know what I mean? I mean, Cody, Patty Pimblett showed that he could compete at a high level. You know what I mean? And he's evolving as a mixed martial arts fighter. So I think Ilya versus Charles, whoever wins that fight, um, I think whoever wins that fight most likely fights. I mean, whoever loses that fight most likely fights Patty Pimblett. That could be a possibility, to be honest with you. All right. We got Manzar Abdul Malik versus Cody Brundage. I have to give it to Manzar Abdul Malik. He's nasty. I've seen him fight before. Very unique, very dynamic. He's 2-0 going into this fight. I don't see Cody Brundage, going in there and actually withstanding what Abdul Malik actually has. I think Abdul Malik goes in there and finishes Cody Brundage early, most likely in the first round, guys. That's my pick for that one. All right, we got Cody Garbrandt versus Barcelos. I don't even know. Both fighters are 2-1 right now. Okay, both fighters are 2-1. Ilya by KO, second round on June 28th. Let's hit theme button around on June 20th. I don't know, man. I have no idea. I think if we're talking about Ilya Topuria versus Charles Oliveira, I think Charles Oliveira wins that fight, guys. Okay, that's what I think about that one. Let's hit the like button, y'all. Thank you so much, Juice Man. I appreciate it. Like and subscribe, guys. And if you're new to the comment section right there, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. All right. Both, Cody and Barcelos. I can't even pronounce his name. They're both 2-1 going into this fight. I just think Cody Garbrandt, he has more experience. He's been to the top of the top, and I think he's in a good position right now to continue his win streak. So I think he's gonna move his win streak to 3-1, and he's gonna beat his opponent that night. So I'm picking Cody Garbrandt to win that fight. All right, guys, we got Edmund Shai versus Andre Petrosky. Petrosky, he's 3-0, right? How do you think Islam versus JDM goes? I think Islam wins that fight. You know what I mean? I really do think Islam won that fight. I was asked yesterday on my live about how do I think this fight will go, and I explained. I watched the Bilal Muhammad versus JDM fight 3 times now. I watched that fight 3 times, and that fight could have gone. That fight could have gone to Bilal Muhammad easily, easily. You know what I mean? So for JDM to take it, I understand that, but it was a lot closer than that than the judges had it, and people actually had it as well. That was a very interesting fight, Bilal Muhammad versus JDM in the fifth round. Going into the fifth round, I had it 2-2. I had Bilal Muhammad winning the fifth round early on, but then JDM started picking him apart later in the round. So I think that's why the judges ended up giving it to JDM. But that was a close fight, man. So for that one to be a close fight, I think Islam is going to go in there with a totally different game plan. He's going to use his wrestling to his advantage, and he's going to beat JDM. That's my prediction for that one. All right. Um, talking about Petrosky, he's 3-0. You know what I mean? When you look at his record, he's 3-0 as it stands right now. In his last, three, he's 3-0. But for one thing that I notice about this guy is that he tires out, man. He tires out. He fights in a way where he doesn't use a lot of his energy early on in the fight because he knows he can't last the 3 rounds, and that's just a terrible look, guys. That's not a good look for Petrosky, and for that reason, I'm going to give it to Edmund. I'm going to give it to Edmund to win this fight. Edmund is 2-1 going into this fight, but I just think he doesn't have a stamina issue. I never see him, get tired in the third round, and almost look like he's dying. And Petrosky, even though he's 3-0, I just think he's 3-0 because he's gotten the right opponents, and I just think this is going to be one of those opponents that doesn't tire out. But I'm going to give it to Edmund. All right, let me see. DDP versus Chimaev. DDP versus Chimaev. Man, that's a good fight right there. That's a good fight because I already explained, before as well that DDP is a 2.0 version of Keith Jardine. You know what I mean? If you've been watching the UFC as long as I have been watching the UFC, then you're gonna understand what I'm talking about. If you know who Keith Jardine is, and that's exactly who DDP fights like. However, DDP always fumbles himself into a win, regardless of how it looks. He still wins. For Chimaev, he's a different animal, right? He's the type of guy that looks for the finish early on, and you saw what he did to Robert Whitaker, the Reaper. So, man, if I had to pick somebody from the top of my head, I'm gonna pick Chimaev, just because he's a dog. And don't get me wrong, DDP is a dog as well, but I just think Chimaev has more ways and technique to win against DDP. All right, next fight we got Rose Namajunas versus Miranda Maverick. Look, both girls are hotties. You know what I mean? Miranda Maverick, she's a thick girl, man. She's a thick girl. Rose Namajunas, she's a little cutie. She's a little cutie. But DDP got taken down by Rob. What happened? What happens with Chimaev? Exactly. You know what I mean? I think Chimaev is definitely going to have opportunities. But man, if I had to pick somebody against Rose Namajunas and Miranda Maverick, look, guys, Rose Namajunas, she's a former champion, defended her belt multiple times, had legendary fights, legendary knockouts. Uh, just her experience alone is what makes me pick Rose Namajunas for this fight because it's hard to really compete with a person like that who understands different levels of competition. And I think Miranda Maverick, she's a great competitor, but I don't think she's there yet. You know what I mean? I don't think she's gonna be able to beat Rose Namajunas in a 3 round fight. I'm gonna give it to Rose Namajunas, to win this one, but it's gonna be a terrific fight. All right. Moving on to the main event of the evening, guys. We're finally here. Finally, we are here, guys. Usman versus Jaquan Buckley. Kamaru Usman versus Jaquan Buckley. Kamaru Usman versus Jaquan Buckley. Who wins this fight, guys? Kamaru Usman has been busy on his Pound for Pound podcast. He's been away from the octagon for multiple years. Prior to that, he was on a 3-fight losing streak. His last win was basically Kobe Covington. However, people forget that Kamaru Usman had one of the most legendary winning streaks of all time. 19-fight winning streak. Defended his belt multiple times. Welterweight champion. One of the hardest divisions to get that gold. Kamaru Usman is a legend in his own right. Now, do we think Jaquan Buckley has what it takes to beat the legend in Kamaru Usman? Can he withstand that legendary status? Can he withstand that experience? Can Jaquan Buckley go in there and get this one win? Because he's one win away from being that number one contender, possibly, being next to fight for the title. Jaquan Buckley has a lot of momentum behind him. He's made some mistakes early on in his career. However, now he's on a huge momentum, getting win streak after win streak. And not only that, multiple knockouts as well. He's been looking flashy. Who wins this fight? How you doing, man? How are you doing? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat, guys. This one was a hard one for me to pick. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I am not gonna lie. This one was a tough one for me to pick because Jaquan Buckley is a tough son of a bitch. He really is. He's tough. I watched his fights, you know what I mean? And the only thing that I could pinpoint to how and who and why, this person is gonna win is one thing that I noticed about Jaquan Buckley is that he tires out. That's another person here on this card that has a tendency to when the rounds when round from round one to round to the last round, the Jaquan Buckley doesn't really look the same. You know what I mean? The punches are not coming at the same velocity anymore as they were in the first round, right? So he looks definitely different per round. Kamaru Usman doesn't do that. That's one thing that I noticed about Kamaru Usman. Per every round, Kamaru Usman looks the same. His punches come at the same velocity. If not, he's correcting things. You know what I mean? He's making all the corrections that all the adjustments that he needed to make from the last round. So when I look closer at this fight, I think Kamaru Usman wins this fight, guys. I think Kamaru Usman goes out there and out game plans Jaquan Buckley. I think Kamaru Usman goes out there and uses that experience to his advantage. I think Kamaru Usman goes out there and honestly puts it on Jaquan Buckley and shows everybody that he's still, on this tap status. I think I think Kamaru Usman wins this fight, unanimous decision or split decision. Wouldn't be surprised, but I'm giving it to Kamaru Usman to win this fight, guys. That is my UFC fight prediction, guys. All right, for this event this Saturday. As it stands right now, I am 117 and 83. That is 117 wins and 83 losses as it stands, guys. Okay, so we are way ahead of schedule. You know what I mean? We got more dubs than L's, so that's looking good right there. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. Okay. And thank you for supporting independent MMA media. I really can't do this without you guys, man. I really can't. This year the goal was to reach 500 subscribers, and we're halfway through the year, and we already surpassed that. You know what I mean? So let's continue pushing. Hopefully, we can get 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, by the end of 2025. Uh, can't do this without you guys. This is a channel for the fans, by the fans. So you already know that. I'm out of here, guys. This is my UFC fight prediction for this Saturday's event: Kamaru Usman versus Jaquan Buckley. It should be a good show. It should be a good one. But I'm out of here, guys. Peace. One love.